Hi, Ron Spears here again. Talk to you a little bit more about ventriloquism. A few of my ideas on things. Today I'd like to kind of talk about character voices and how to invent them. First of all, in one of my other videos you heard me talk a little bit about the squeeze voice that Paul Winchell talks about in the Ventriloquism for Fun and Profit book. Let's get into this a little bit more, because some people who are book learned on ventriloquism don't understand what this is, and so I maybe if I can explain it to you, you'll understand a little more. Basically, it's a matter of keeping your lungs full of air and having your diaphragm pushing the voice. Now, some people don't know what diaphragm pressure is. If you're a professional singer, or you're a broadcaster, or you do anything in those lines of professional, most of those people know how to use their diaphragm because they've used it in years and years of practice. As a singer, I've always used it, and I know what it can do for volume, and as for that much pitch, it can get you up, get your notes much higher, because you can add more power to your voice. Probably not the best way to explain it, but maybe one that will maybe click in you would be your diaphragm is something you use when you go to the restroom to do number 2. Now that's, some people, that's the only way I can say that's what it is, and something clicks. The pressure you're using to relieve yourself is diaphragm pressure. That is diaphragm pressure. That is pushing everything really hard. That is what's pushing, and you're using that with a lung full of air. You are pushing your voice here and bringing it out more, bringing a breath of air, and always trying to keep your lungs full, so you're always being able to bring your voice out forward and bring more to the whole thing. So that's it. When you do this, to practice this, put your hands down here where your diaphragm is, around where your belt is, and just feel those muscles tighten up. And try to take a mouthful of air and try to up your voice and push the voice. Buzz, buzz. As silly as that sounds, that is the basis of getting a good ventriloquist voice, to be able to add diction and volume. That's about all I can say on the subject. We're going to come right back, so hang in there. Alright, well, I've explained diaphragm a little bit there, and I'm going to go on a little bit, and I'm going to talk to you about 3 ways of creating voices. 3 voices to create with. One of the best ways to learn to do voices is by imitating voices that you've already heard. One of the great places to learn voices is the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons, the old Bullwinkle, Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoons, the old Looney Tunes. Those voices were created by very few people. Mel Blanc did most of the voices for the Warner Brothers stuff. Dawes Butler did most of the stuff for Hanna-Barbera, along with Don Messler, and I'm trying to think, several others on the Rocky and Bullwinkle thing. Anyway, the best way to learn that stuff is to listen to it. And there's only really 3 voices you need to really learn, 3 ways of creating voices that will give you pretty much every one of those characters. Now, when you're talking in a normal voice, your voice is coming from your throat. This is it. This is a normal talking voice for me. I can do a couple things with this. If you listen to broadcasters on the radio, they get in here and they say, "Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. We're proud to have you with us." Now, you notice my voice became a lot thicker and fuller. What's happening there is I'm forcing most of the sound from my chest. A lot of the voices like, "How you doing, boo-boo?" Even though that might sound like him, that's where that voice is resonating from. What you need to do is you take your voice and you try to get your chest to vibrate. "Hello, hello, well, how you doing down there? There, my voice is vibrating, very difficult in the bottom end." It doesn't necessarily mean to be a low note. It can be a higher note, but it's going to be down here, and it's going to vibrate more in your chest area and be a different tone. Then here's a different tone back to here. Here's a tone back here. Here's a tone here. Here's a tone here. The note didn't change. The tone of the note changed. Now, one of the harder things to do is a throat voice. Now, this is a throat voice. This is coming right from your throat, and that's the only thing that's vibrating. Nothing else is vibrating but your throat. It's almost like swallowing. It's almost like you're swallowing while you're talking, and you're going, "Oh my gosh, okay, I hear a lot of them. I hear a lot of them characters talking like this. Just a throat voice." What's one of the great ones? Hello, folks. Droopy. That's a harder one to do. I think Paul Zernin uses that for one of his characters. But see, that there is a throat voice. You can use the throat voice. Now, most cheeky kids in ventriloquism are using what I call the nasal voice. The voice is pushed into your nasal cavity.
So it's more of a voice like this. So it comes up into here, and most of that sound is coming from your nose. If you can do that, that's where ventriloquism, you don't need your lips and all the things up front, because most of the sound is coming from your nose. So you've got this,
you've got this, and you've got this. And those are the three you can create voices with. So if you have a dumb character, you probably want to use this lower voice and learn to get all the resonation down in your chest. How you doing, Mr. Durgan? And you can work different things. If you watch the cartoons, listen to those differences. You can have characters.
Just going right here on your throat, and you go like this on the throat, and they go, yeah, I got it, I can do that one.
Up in the navel cavity.
Yeah, I can do that one. Yeah, look at that one there. That's really good. Oh my golly, wow, gee whiz.
And the other voice you learn, falsetto. I don't know how to teach the falsetto. The falsetto is just what it says. It's a false voice. It's a voice like this one right here. And I've never been able to do it much because I always want to do it full voice. But what it is this. This is Danny O'Day's voice. So anyway, it's a high register voice. You can take it higher and make it a woman. Or you can do things. And those are the three different voice types you need to learn. And you can do things to them to make things different. You can get gravelly down here and do this chest voice and get real gravelly. And do one down here like this. And that's a whole big chest voice.
You can do a gravelly one up there in your nasal cavity and get a real nasally one.
Don't worry about lip control when you're creating a character or a voice. Get the voice first.
Yeah, get the voice first. If you get the voice first, then you can change it and get it where you don't use the lips, but it might be hard.
Sounded like Yoda a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
But anyway, those are the spectrums of what you think about. Bringing it down into here. Bring your normal speaking voice. Never do a puppet say, "How are you?" "I'm fine." "Oh, you good?" "I'm great." Something's got to change, even if it's a bit of a pitch. If you can't get any of these techniques, you can go, "How are you?" "I'm fine." "Are you good?" "Yes." But something's got to be different. So those are a few techniques that you can use to create voices. Chest, just feel that in your chest. Bring it down, and thank you very much. Elvis's best of building. Thank you very much.
Oh, the one in here in the throat voice. This is a throat voice, and I can do all kinds of things with it, by golly. I can be an old man. I can be an old woman. I can go up into here. I can go up in the nostril place and do this another old man voice. You can do a wrestly old guy here and all kinds of stuff.
Try those techniques when you're working on a voice. Remember, always pressure. Always pressure from the diaphragm. Keep your lungs full. That will help you develop all of these voices. Hope that helps some of you in some way. Y'all have a great one. See you next time.